Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of SK Diecast Talks. So, in today's episode, I'm going to unbox and review a couple of Mini GT models. So, this is the second time I'm doing Mini GT on this channel. The first one was the Camel Evo Mercedes, where I had done the decal work. That was the first Mini GT video I had done. The link is there on the top right corner of the screen. So, for the second time, I'm going to do serial numbers 300 and 322. I, for one, have been very eagerly waiting the release of these cars because I'm a big fan of this car and the livery that this car has. So, this is the cars we're going to take a look at today. So this is the Lancia Delta HF Integral Evolution. So we have two versions of the car here. The one on the top is basically the testing car, so it doesn't have all of the decals on it, whereas the one on the bottom was the actual rally participant, so it has all the sponsorship decals on the car. So that's pretty much the only difference. Otherwise, both cars are completely identical. So as usual, before I start the unboxing, let's take a close look at the box. Actually, I will do this one. I like the decals on this. So let's do this box. So first things first, I think the choice of colors by Mini GT for this particular model is awesome. The bright colors of the Martini livery is a beautiful contrast to the gray and white backgrounds, the monotone backgrounds that are there. So it makes this picture stand out really well. So that's a fantastic choice of colors by Mini GT for the box. So you can see here it's the Lancia Delta HF. So this is the 1992 1000 Lakes Rally winner. So 1000 Lakes Rally is nothing but the Rally of Finland in the WRC calendar. So this won the 1992 rally over there. And in fact, I think they went on to win the championship that particular year. So on the bottom, you can just see the warnings as usual, ages 14 plus, and the warnings in different languages. So it is also written as TSM models, TSM miniatures, and Hong Kong, China is where it was made in. And on the bottom, you can see the licensing. So this is obviously a Lancia official product. So that's the license number that you see over there. The TSM models hologram, and all the license affiliations can be seen over here with the barcode. So there's one nice thing about Mini GT. So all their models are licensed, unlike some of the Time Micros and other manufacturers that I keep coming across. Though they make decent models, without licensing, it just doesn't feel authentic. So Mini GT is right up there when it comes to this. So it's much appreciated. Over here on this side, you can actually see the social media handles and the website details given. And on the left side of the box, you can see HF is written over there. So since this is the Lancia Delta HF, so those of you who don't know what that is, HF stands for high fidelity. So that's why it's written over there. And on the other side, just the Mini GT logo and the scale. So that's the box. Both boxes are pretty much similar except for the image of the car. And now I'm going to take a couple of minutes, unbox these cars, and I'll start the reviews. Unbox the cars, and these cars just look brilliant. Very, very beautiful looking cars. The Martini livery never fails to impress me. So both the cars look just great. So I'm going to take a up-close look at these cars. So before that, I just want to talk a little bit about the history of these cars. So Lancia was founded in Italy, and they started making cars from in two phases basically. So they started making cars from 1979 to 86, and then the second tranche of cars was built from 91 to 1999. And as far as the Lancia Delta is concerned, about 44,000 odd cars were produced in these time frames. So, however, they really started doing well in the WRC events from 1986 onwards. 87, 88, they did a couple of first positions. But then from 89 onwards was when these guys came into full force. So the HF, which is the high fidelity, was a suffix for the cars that were the racing variants of the road-going cars. So the road cars of Lancia Delta road cars were actually the front wheel drive cars. They were turbocharged, and they had a 1.6 liter engine. However, the rally cars were all-time four-wheel drive. So these had 2-liter Fiat twin cam petrol engines, and this was also turbocharged. So in 1991, Lancia officially withdrew from or retired from the WRC scene. And however, the cars were taken up by an independent club called as Jolly Club, and this was once again sponsored by Martini, and they went on to race for a few more years, and in fact this combination actually won the WRC championship 6 times. So that is the brief history of the car. So let's take a quick look at the model itself. So the details are brilliant in this particular model. So I really love the livery on it. So one important thing about this is these are not decals. These are actually tampos. So for those of you who don't know the difference between tampos and decals, tampos is actually painted or printed with paint on the car. So whereas decals, they are the thin plastic stickers that come on top of the car. So these are all tampos and they're not decals. So that's brilliant work by Mini GT there. So there's no smudges, smears whatsoever on the car or on the tampos. They've just done very precision work over here. So that's really to be commended. And overall, the model looks very, very detailed. The plastic inserts, as usual, are very high quality. They stand out really well, like the plastic inserts of the front grille, the bumper grills, the headlights. All of them have really turned out very well. So the wheels are also pretty much accurate, though the actual car had, like you see these holes over here. So the outer set of indents that you see over there, so those were also typically holes. But however, I think since this is a small piece of plastic, if you do that, so it's obviously going to become very delicate and it'll obviously crumble. So which is why I think Mini GT has done it this way. But otherwise, I think everything looks very precise. In fact, including the license plate of this particular car that you see here. So the license plate is also the actual license plate of the car that won the rally. So everything looks very, very precise. The mud flaps, the spoiler, the headlights, all of it is done very well, including the wipers. So the mirrors, of course, are over here, but I think they've done the folded version of the mirrors, or I'm not sure whether the actual car had mirrors like this, but yeah. So if there were the mirrors on this, I think that would have been even more lovely. But I think that's too much of expectations. But that said, I think the model is really, really accurate. In fact, I Googled pictures of this particular model and I saw the decals, everything, the sponsor decals, all of it is absolutely accurate. So there's not a single decal that is missing over here. So all of it is right there. So the attention to detail given by TSM for this particular model is very commendable, and being a Martini car, I'm really loving it because I'm a Martini racing fan. And the other car also is absolutely the same. The quality is perfect. The small exception is that this doesn't have the decals like I mentioned before. But otherwise, I think the fit and finish, everything is really beautiful. Certain cars of Mini GT, I've seen some quality issues, but none of that is there in this particular model. So a couple of great additions to my collection personally, and I really love these cars. So they're going to take up spots of pride in my Martini collection. So thank you very much, Mini GT, for releasing this. So that's all I have for this episode. I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.